Inquiry. Nothing on that.
Oh, ouch.
So he masterfully changes the subject when you start asking what he needs them for.
Well, if he wants to trade, I have 6 that I can trade for. Each one would be worth a single bunny dot. 6 bunny dot, and the lot is yours, my farmer friend, who I'm sure is completely honorable and up to perfectly legitimate things.
Well, I don't have bunny dots on me, but I do have a couple Kamali who that I have driven to town. Basically cattle, but lizards.
Well, that would be something that I wouldn't know anything about and probably be very difficult to try to either get back to the mainland, so I'll pass on it.
All right, well, he thanks you, and he will see about getting bunny dots for you. He is very interested in these crossbows.
Good to hear. I'm sure this will end just fine. So,
Oh.
Well, it sounds like you've arranged a deal. Now we just have to wait to see if he follows through later today, then, don't we?
well, in the meantime, I suppose the rest of the group could search out for the Lord to see if we can get more info.
Well, my instinct says he must be in the very large building over there, which is clearly visible from the marketplace.
So the Royal Hall is a large walled compound on the highest summit of the Murius Plateau. A low trench surrounds part of the hill, spanned by a wooden bridge that is constantly watched by 2 Fianna. So they will turn away anyone who is not of noble blood.
The Pharaoh!
Yay!
Clearly, you must announce your presence with your honor guard.
So, what is your business here?
We wish to speak to the Lord about his recent acquisitions.
They will send a messenger inside, and the chief does not come out, but a female Falon comes out, who is Princess Labhose Mac Erlane, chieftain's daughter.
Well met, lady.
So, mind and gossip versus 3 to convince her that you're actually noble, because damn hyenas.
Can you get assist?
And any applicable dice from gifts such as nobility or etiquette.
Yeah, the D12 from nobility might awfully prove that you are noble. But it looks like you got it anyway.
Or he just does it anyway.
All right.
So eloquently.
So she will explain the ship was rightfully claimed as spoils of the sea to be evenly divided among all the nobles of Catha Marius. The one survivor was given to the noble Dur Gilroy as his rightful spoils to be his indentured slave. And he is making a point of showing off his new acquisition to anyone who comes near his lands. Working as like a farm, working as a farm slave, plantation.
He's having a noble scholar work a plantation.
Um,
She's not noble, I don't think.
Well, in my book, I meant that she is of honorable nature, and of much better use than that.
well, it spoils the sea. Great wolf. How the great fall, all that. Um, I can point you in the direction of Derek Gilroy's estate, but I must ask that you keep your weapons peace bonded.
But of course, they shall remain so as long as we are within these walls.
They're outside the walls.
Or within your territory, she would have said.
All right. So it's actually pretty damn close. The big problem is the fast-moving river, because it is location 10, right across the river.
Location 10. Oh, interesting. I don't suppose they have any sort of bridge nearby at all, do they?
Or safe ford.
The river runs past the city at a speed a bit faster than most boatmen would prefer. Riverside is a constant flurry of activity. Fishers cast their nets, folk wash their clothes, blankets, and even themselves. Servants throw garbage and empty chamber pots. There is no bridge that spans the river. The water moves too quickly and the banks are too far apart to build a simple structure. And it's doubtful they'd call in outside engineers, Eltosian.
All right. Let's
Well-
build ourselves a basic bridge.
Well, as a bird, I fly across.
All right.
Show off.
Oh, you could do it too. I believe in you. Just flap your arms really hard.
Are you looking around before they get across, or are you waiting for everyone else?
I'm waiting for everyone else. I'm not gonna speed on ahead necessarily. So, I guess just to clarify, what is Area 10 supposed to be again? A farm for Miranda?
Area 10, Dur Gilroy's estate.
Ah, okay. Interesting that that's the estate and not like the walled center here.
Well,
What does that make number 2 then?
Oh, number 2 is the Royal Hall.
Okay,
Chief versus a noble.
gotcha.
Well, Dr. Caesar could fly across and have a rope.
All
and
right.
We could use that to ford.
I'm sure,
Let's
given
see.
our performance back in the mountains, I'll see everyone washed away in just a moment.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we probably need a bridge, because I don't trust these mooks to not drown immediately.
Well, I was going to leave Rob and Don behind to watch our stuff. So that's less of my people that need to cross.
Fair enough.
Well, if we're looking to simply talk first, we don't all need to make the crossing.
That's true. Besides, I'm still waiting around for the farmer to return.
I guess we do have plenty of time. How much time might it take for Kunibald to actually make an earthen bridge across? To at least last for an hour or something.
So the biggest problem is that it is a fast and deep river.
Mhm.
And quick measure. Yeah, it's about 12 meters across.
Actually, I have another note. How do the locals get across? Maybe they have a raft or something.
Oh yeah, there's fishermen. It's a little faster than most boaters would prefer, but um, some do it. Some go around to the nearest ford, which isn't exactly close. Some try swimming it.
Oof.
I imagine some are actually capable of it.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure our metal heavy party would just sink. But I will fly around a little bit and try to identify fishers with rafts on this river very nearby and see if I could just spot them out for the group and they can go talk to them. Take them right there.
You can spot them. You can talk at them. They don't speak Calabrese.
Right. Hence why I was saying like I'm directing the group in that direction.
Yeah, they're all along the riverside.
Here's one right over here. Go on, Max. Charm them.
Is Max still in the merchant area?
Well,
Or is
I'm
he...
kind of waiting back for this guy to come back, so I haven't even known that we met with the chief.
Split the party! Split the party!
All
It's
right.
okay. You're in a town, right?
I guess it's me and the tiger then.
All right.
Unless Kunibald is with me to help negotiate or something, or Neferu.
Neferu would be there.
Alright, so Max is just saying hi, we're all going. So I'll have the tiger translate and I go, good day, sir, fine fisherman. Might I ask if we could, travel across the river with your assistance?
And okay, give me a negotiate.
Kunibald, would you like to help negotiate the price on this?
Certainly.
Alright, well, you're the lead because you actually have negotiated. Congratulations.
And a nice friendly botch, my friend. Beautifully done.
Do you have any kind of claim negotiation specialization?
No, not yet.
Wanna do it with, like, the lower class or something? Or maybe a species?
What?
Through a translator.
Through a translator. What the heck? Why not? That'll be specifically for this adventure only, pretty much. What, that lets me reroll one of these dice?
Yeah.
Didn't help at all. Oh, lovely.
Whoa.
So the tiger is like, "Are you sure? All right, I'll tell him that."
Oh boy.
And the boatman gets really angry, threatening you, and starts swinging a I guess oar in your direction, driving you away. Others start asking what's going on. He shouts at them, and they start getting angry at you too.
What did you tell them? I didn't deserve to be dunked by an oar today.
So I presume you guys like back off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we call him a fish or something? I just don't understand.
What was so wrong about that state? Interpreter?
Has to do with the literal meaning of a unkind word.
So we did call him a fish.
Boy, am I glad I'm not here.
Well, at least we didn't. Well, at least we started a mob, but the mob didn't do anything to us yet. Let's take a positive look at this. So I don't suppose you could just make your own raft. There's got to be plenty of trees around here. On this side.
Well,
This is all developed area, so any trees you find are probably owned.
Well, you don't have a raft. We failed to talk about that. You can't make your own. You don't have wings because you're an inferior being. I just don't know what other options are available to you.
all right. Back to trying to build a bridge.
All right, you're gonna have
Or
to.
alternatively,
The Kunibald
how
Memorial
far away
Bridge.
is the nearest ford?
About half a day's trip.
Might be faster than building a 12-meter bridge. They can survive a fast-moving river.
Yeah, there is a narrow point by the inn that is only 8 meters, but the water's moving fastest there because it's narrowest.
Yes, because it's narrowest.
That's okay. If we build like 2 very long earth poles and then attach cables, we can make a suspension bridge 100 years before the technology is invented.
Well, somebody's got mathematics, and
This is true. Kunibald is the smartest character with the possibility of actually pulling it off.
So what kind of role
Or
do
at
you
least
want?
making an
Guessing
arch.
what? Craft? Sounds like you're saying mathematics applying to it.
this is going to be a complicated role. I'm thinking academics, craft, mathematics. What else do you think might apply?
I could maybe argue cartography? I don't know. Let's see here.
It's a little finely detailed for cartography, I think. And of course, mind.
Yeah.
But you're
I
going to
don't
need
suppose-
multiple successes for this.
I
Oh,
don't suppose our wolf mercenaries have any ability to craft as well, do they? I don't think so. Because it would be
No.
nice to have a couple laborers to help you.
plus math. Math's a D12, right?
Yeah.
Or about the
If
thinking
you're
of it.
making it entirely out of earth, maybe digging?
Sure, you're using earth magic for this.
Fair enough.
Do you have any advanced spells that might apply?
Advanced spells? I think the one I have is landslide at the moment.
Yeah, that would not help.
If we just dam up the entire river...
That's not going to help.
I mean, it is if we want to just have everyone at our backs the entire rest of the adventure.
No. It's a river. That's not going to help.
The water's gotta go somewhere. Town is there. Well, that makes it a pretty large dice pool, but also this is a lot of things added into this roll. Just a lot of things.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of successes.
So that's 4.
Well, you've got something that you think you can get almost halfway across.
Now, if we can get somebody on the other side.
Caesar just standing on the other side, 4 meters away from like your halfway point of the bridge, tapping his feet, going on the other side, and what? Throw you a stick? Where's Caesar right now? I'm gonna move him.
You can try that again with a D8 the D8 difficulty die, if you want to try and Earthcraft it up from
All
the
right.
far bank.
4 successes was pretty nice, though.
I guess I can try this again. What? So the D8 penalty would be if I get a success on the D8, it reduces the success number, or is it hitting the new TN number?
Hitting the new target number.
Ugh. All right. I guess I can try it.
Target number is 7.
Ugh.
Yikes.
You do not have a lot of control at this distance.
I got one at least. A success.
All right. Well, you can certainly try again.
I'm guessing still with that D8 die penalty.
What would you call putting your back
This time it's
into it
only
when you're
6.
using magic? Put your brain into it.
Well, I keep consistent with this one.
Very slowly getting
Caesar,
away.
you want to roll an assist?
Let me just throw my D4 body out there. I'll work on conquering all other magics later, thank you.
No, you're shouting advice. Roll academics.
Oh, okay. I can do that. No, you fool, it's Sokato, not Tosako, or whatever.
Did you just make a Sokotoa reference with signs and
yes,
cosines?
I did.
Well
You're getting your
done,
math all
Griff.
wrong.
Well done.
I'm getting it all wrong.
I guess you went on a bit of a tangent.
Whoa!
I'm co-signing my puns away right now.
I'll get out.
All right. Well, give me one more, Elto.
Should I give one more assist check?
At least I've been consistently making progress. Hey, it's a normal check this time!
I do not assist you on this last roll here.
That's
One,
4
two,
successes.
Okay, you got something that's sticking out, and it's like, let me double check this, but
Just be careful in the center.
well, there is a gap in the center, but you've got like 2 of these bent over pillars that are almost touching.
My finest work. But I think people can cross this for a little while.
You might want to make a one more check for a keystone.
Yes, mind the gap.
Fair point. Keystone is probably needed here. Same massive roll check.
Yes, although this one's a lot easier.
That seems like an ace.
That's 6 successes.
All right. Yeah, you got that. You've got the bridge solidified up a bit. It is a not something you'd want to leave for regular use for in like after spring floods, but it's enough that you're okay with taking the trip personally right now.
There we go.
See? Just a few treatises of math and a few hours of hard work later, and you too can almost pretend as if you flew across. Congratulations!
All right.
My work makes it so that many people can fly across, not just you, sir. Speaking of, does somebody want to
Exactly!
go get?
It's useful. I'm sure you've helped him
Somebody
out
want
for
to go
about
get
the next month.
the foxes to come speak with this lord?
right,
Do
so-
we want to just let them stay?
Well, Nefiru is the one of noble birth. He would have the reason to be here. I'm not sure they'd like to talk to any of the rest of us not so noble individuals. So Nefiru, trust you can handle this?
I believe I can.
All right. And who's called dibs on your translator?
I think we have dibs on the translator right now.
Sorry,
In fact, you've
Max.
been using him for a while.
Well, that's fine. I mean, as long as the performer comes back, it's totally good. But for now, you're just talking with him. You know where I am.
All right.
Indeed. You can keep, like, the, other mercenaries with you just in case you, like, want protection.
Sure.
They're not up to anything right now.
I'm sure
Oh,
they're
there's
just
4 of them. Where's
relaxing.
the 5th one?
All right.
Technically.
All right. So I assume he has a door or some kind of way to contact him, to knock on or whatnot.
All right. Jumping over to the farm.
And I suppose we're coming in from the north of this.
Yeah, sure. I just grabbed a random farm thing off of the free backgrounds.
Oh, did my token get left behind?
Yeah, yours was, like,
Yeah.
all the way up on the north and never moved, so...
I can't put Nefarious Token on the map for some reason, but I can put my pets.
Uh, I've got Neferu and the pet up above
Yeah, I
the
don't
map.
see it.
Put it over by where you put your pet. And then Kunibald. Run back and grab that since. There it is. Copy. Right page. And paste. All right, you see it? So, visible from the Kather walls, and thus not far away, is the farmstead of noble Gilroy. He has 7 tenants on the land he owns. He himself and his family have claimed the best spot for themselves. During the day, Miranda de Vosier is clearly visible, tilling the fields along with the other felon peasants. In fact, Dirk Gilroy is quite proud and showing off to his neighbors the new prize, or so you're hearing in the rumor mill.
On seeing her, Caesar will fly directly on over with, like, a little bit of concern in his eyes and just kind of go, Miranda Devoy, Are you all right?
She will look up at you. She is still working as she talks, but yes. You sound like you're from civilized lands.
You'd be correct on that. I'm sorry. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Caesar the Small. I've been sent by Dunwasser to try to retrieve you. If they've heard of your plight and they want you back.
Well, obviously, I'd be gladly lay down this hoe and be led away from this place. Unfortunately, I am currently a slave owned by noble Dur Gilroy MacGwendale, who lives in that house on yonder hill. If I were to flee, he would summon his fellows and hunt me down as a runaway slave. And as an anthropologist, I would avoid such disturbance to their way of life. As a pragmatist, I do not desire to be hunted down by their skilled warriors. In order for me to be free, you will have to pay my slave price.
I imagine the walk back would be quite difficult with them hunting us down. But
Yes,
slave
quite.
price. They would agree to that so easily?
I believe my value is quoted at 2 kamali, which means my price is 2 of their cattle. I'm flattered, frankly. I would have thought my value to be at most 1.
I suppose they're only evaluating you by how well you might till the fields.
Clearly, it's
Oh,
an ornament.
Clearly this, the way I judge it, this Duke, clearly takes, interest in being seen to have an exotic slave. It's one of the reasons I'm working on the outer field closest to the river, so that many can see me.
I see. You must enjoy having such a prize. Well, we do seek to deny him that. Perhaps he will listen to reason and maybe a trade, but barring that, we may have other plans. I'll have to see what my associates decide to do. I trust their
Alright.
judgments, but I don't know if their judgments will be, sound, let's say. Nonetheless,
She
we do seek your
nods,
utmost
looks
safety.
around. She'll lean a little close to you. As for being ready to go, I had a few moments to myself before I was captured by their scouts. I took my positions to that hill over by the cliffs, between those 2 standing stones, and I buried them under a tree. Well, most of it is trinkets that are easily replaced. Up there is also my treatise on the Falan, my life's work. We must retrieve it before we leave.
Most excellent. I can fly there immediately to begin digging them out. Perhaps take my friend with them as well. But we will definitely leave with you.
All right.
So, I assume everyone else is doing whatever they wish to do while I'm having this conversation. Which is probably actually approaching the house.
Yes. On foot.
All right. So, I figure the front door's around here.
Okay, that's better.
I don't actually have all the household and guards out, but just Dur Gilroy, the important one here. But just assume they're there. So, some of the guards ask why you have come.
We wish to speak to your master about his slave, his new slave.
They will murmur and send someone out to get Dur Gilroy. He is let's see, let me grab the right stat block. Let's see. He is decently charismatic, older wolf. So I've got a picture here, but I didn't scan it in, damn it. So let's see. one of the things you'll note is that he actually has aluminum chainmail. And carries a giabola, or however it's pronounced. Two-handed sword.
Ooh.
I thought those were the spears with the barbs.
Is it? All right.
Well,
All I know is they hit like
it's named
pistols.
after legendary. What was it? Toe throwing spear. I want to say.
So, he is. Can go ahead and roll and negotiate if you want, or how are you approaching this?
Well, I have no negotiation myself, so does anybody else?
Yes.
Kunibald does.
In fact, you brought your negotiator for however much value that is.
All right, excellent.
So I got a success.
All right. Let's see. He's not really a negotiator either. He does, however, have a willpower. Ha ha ha. So
Okay.
he it takes your request in good humor. He remarks that he was not really expecting that he would be able to keep this bounty for long, but he does ask for appropriate trade, such as the price being 2 cattle. But he is not interested in crossbows or denarii or paper.
Well, none of us know that Max has a possible deal for Kumal on his hands already. So,
Oh, well, we do know of that deal. We were actually there, weren't we?
well, if that's
Or
the
at
case,
least-
then she'll say, "Is the doctor with us now, or is he?"
I imagine he was doing his conversation at the same time.
Okay.
Although you move fast enough that you might have been able to join the conversation mid-negotiation. Your conversation didn't exactly take long.
Yeah.
And the
So-
fact that this conversation has to go through a translator.
Good doctor, would you be able to find Max and have her make that deal for the Kumal so that we can retrieve our good friend Miranda?
Well, she's not exactly inconspicuous. I'm sure I could find her in just a few moments. And Caesar takes to the sky.
All right, Max, you around?
Mhm. I'm here.
So, you need. Doc Caesar tracks you down, points out that we actually need the cattle this time.
Well, he hasn't come back yet, so
Well, I suppose if you could find him. Then maybe
you've
we could
seen
get
him
it for the
around.
cattle.
He's mostly trying to look for ways to sell his cattle, and unfortunately didn't bring it in the right season. People aren't really set up for buying cattle right now. So he's having almost as much trouble as you guys are.
well,
It
I
would
can
mean that you
probably-
would not get any profits out of this. It would be coming out of your pocket entirely.
Oh boy.
How much did you
So,
actually pay for all of these crossbows?
Well, about four denarii.
About 4? I think we could easily reimburse that. I think we have the extra money left.
Well, the goal was essentially to try to make money, not just break even. But I guess okay.
Well, how much is a
One would
cattle
hope.
usually worth?
Well, there's a cow, and then there's bringing it back. And I don't think we could bring 2 cattle back through the mountains very easily. So
Yeah, that's not going to be an issue.
So I think, yeah, we'll just track down the farmer and say, you know what? On second thought, I'll trade you those 6 crossbows for those two cows,
All right.
or whatever the equivalents are.
While you're here, you can. I'm going to let you retry that perception test.
Okay.
Right.
Both of
I
you.
just have 1 success, so he's suspicious, but I can't pin down what it is about it.
He seems
I got
vaguely familiar.
6 and a D8. A 1.
So, okay, you're helping. I will roll another d8. Well, 2 successes. Maybe I'd recognize this sketchy farmer. Would this happen to be a certain wolf that was impersonating another wolf?
You didn't really get a good look in the candlelight, but that's who you're thinking. Because you were, was it a hooded lantern in the cave?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to him and say, you know what? I am interested in trading those 2 cows, but you look very, very familiar to me, almost as if I have seen you before.
Oh, well, I do have a bit of land by Bisclaveret lands.
Yes, that's
you
right.
might have seen me around.
You look pretty well fed since last I saw you.
Yes, I do in fact recall last you were trapped within a cage. Tell me, how did you manage to get out of it so quickly?
I mean, those were
Ahead
just
of us.
two
With the
Marigna.
missing
Tell me what an interesting tale you must tell. Then I say,
What is
putting my arm around his shoulder.
Oh.
His expression goes blank.
And Caesar
Unless
will
you're
just
not,
take a quick look at the brand on the cattle too. It probably matches up with the missing cattle, I imagine.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
So, what sort of man would steal another man's face and the missing cattle?
One you do not want to have as an enemy.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know much about the customs here, but I'm sure maybe a Brehon can get to the bottom of this. Unless, of course, you want to barter.
You mentioned Brehon and he spits. The rule of warriors over let's see, let me get the rule of warriors over wizards is the greatest blasphemy of this modern era.
I'm sorry, did you say something? I was thinking of something else. Yeah, you know what? Why don't we get a Brehon to get to the bottom of this? I say, pointing a pistol in his small of his back.
Fight,
Alright.
fight.
All right, so let me jump back to the page you're on. All right, so
Places me all the way back in the market.
I mean, if it comes down to it, I'll just start yelling the word Brehon over and over and over again until one shows up.
that's not going to be an issue because you have that pistol at your back, at his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to pull out a feather.
Now, would this happen to be a large, black, inky feather similar to the ones that we saw in that horrible cave?
It might be. You didn't get a good look. Again, lantern.
Sure.
Now, what kind of havoc might you be planning with that?
You must have friends in high places, no doubt, or low places.
Such that you might regret pulling that trigger.
And how about illuminating us a little bit? What kind of bargain do you have going on here?
Suffice it to say that I intend to take my revenge on the rulers of these lands.
I see. Quite the plot. All you had to do was ruin another man's life to do so.
Well,
He
this
isn't
is
even a
gone.
warrior.
This
Just
has
a
gone on
farmer.
long enough, I think. I'm not getting involved with whatever, demon spouting bullshit that he's going on about. I'm just going to start screaming the word Brayhan hysterically, making a scene as best as I can, and if need be, I'll fire a gun in the air for the loud noise.
Oh dear.
All right. When you discharge your weapon,
I said if, I wasn't going to.
all right. Well, he is going to take the opportunity to twist out of your immediate pistol shot and do something magical with the feather.
Okay.
Might I identify what is happening?
It is a master level druid magic.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
All right. Damage presence supernatural. Let's see. D10, 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 D12, and a bonus D12. Usually bonus 2D12.
He just
Yeah.
rolled 666. Oh my god.
Oh,
That is the rule in the book.
I thought that was for
so
like
if you-
necromantic stuff.
Yes,
I don't know about
but-
This is not an unholy, if I'm reading it right.
Yeah.
However,
the rule could apply. It's up to you as the GM.
oh well, I can kick this up a level and get the skies become overcast, the grass wilts, milk turns sour, and wine becomes thin. Again, you're still in the marketplace. And a Morrigan and 13 goblins appear, which is a little more than he bargained for.
Red of blood from a lacerated sky.
So he brought his feather to summon
That'll
the
be
Morrigan,
bad.
and the Morrigan brought friends.
And directly into the center of the marketplace.
Yeah, that was
Now,
a bad
if
idea.
I recall right, your gun is actually peace-bound, and so is my staff and wand.
But he just roused an entire city.
So, might I suggest, Max, you run away as quickly as possible, and I'll run as quick, and I'll fly away as quickly as possible, and we see where we get with that.
Yes.
Bye.
But with a caveat here too to the GM, I am going to try to find a Brayhan or somebody of that ilk as best as I can, and again make sufficiently enough noise to kind of try to explain what's going on, assuming I'm
Alright.
not immediately ripped to pieces.
You have plenty of time to run away. There is plenty of commotion as all these secondary effects are hitting the entire market. Matter of fact, hitting the entire town.
Yeah, this is their capital city. Like, this is literally like if somebody were to open up a portal in the middle of Triskelion.
I mean, it's a little smaller than Triskelion, but
Right. But yeah, this is not of all the places he he wanted to summon these things. This is not a good place.
It wasn't exactly what he was planning on, so at least he doesn't have the best tactical advantage he could have.
all right. Well, you are able to hide in the crowd. Let's see. There is guards at the gate are at gate number. See, there's a gate just to the north of where you're at, which is to the left on the map.
Mhm.
And their attention is definitely brought down by all the panicked things. The Morgan is pretty obvious, and they start like putting up the alarm. The quote unquote farmer you were talking to is attempting to blend in with the panicking hordes.
I'll follow him.
I, in
Bravely,
fact, have a
defiantly,
bird's eye
stupidly.
view.
Well, my personality is defiant, and I'm not gonna let them get away with it.
All right. Go ahead and you're physically grappling with him as he flees, or are you just trying to track him?
I suspect what'll happen is he'll try to like we'll scatter out into the crowd, but I'll kind of keep my eye out on him, and then when he's looking away, trying to leave, I'll like yeah, and then like tackle him.
I will be simply trying to track him myself.
So go ahead and give me mind perception, or actually speed perception.
Ooh, even better.
And can I have my favorite die for observation spotting things?
I think that's a little broad.
Okay, let me see then.
Although, actually,
What would senses apply to here?
well,
Because
you're
it never
doing,
come up, so this is the time to ask, I think.
yeah, you are flying above the crowd and looking down, so that's definitely sight.
Alright, I'll add in a D8 for my species then.
Well,
Okay.
it does say under the observation skills on 43, suggested favored uses: seeing things, hearing things, smelling things.
All right.
I have 3
I'm used
successes on my
to
own.
other systems where perception is a lot more visually related.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, splitting the party.
So I'm going to re-roll that D8 and see if I can get one more success. That's a big 3 successes, I do! And one off of a 4, no less.
All right, so you're definitely tracking him, and you're going to be tackling him when he thinks he's gotten away.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. He can only if he is unaware. That's how does that work?
I think he would be considered reeling. So we get an extra D8.
Yeah, and that means he rolls dodge, not anything
Yeah.
else. All right.
Is it appropriate to add my aim die to this if I'm trying to tackle him down?
Sure.
Okay.
Two successes, or rather, 4 and a 6. And his dodge. Let's see. D10 dodge and a cough, cough, cough D6 body, or D6 speed.
Aha!
Got one.
Curse
I'll
this
stop you.
form. And he shifts, and you're not holding a farmer anymore.
Am I holding a handsome guy with a big muscly chest? Maybe?
Well, body D10, does that count?
Oh god, yes. So he's
Wolf
huge.
D10?
I look up at him and kind of make like this. I assume I'm like on top of him, and he just sort
Yes.
of changes into a giant muscle man.
A muscle man,
You know,
what exactly?
Giant muscle man in a robe.
He's a punch wizard.
And then he takes his turn. So that walking stick that the farmer was carrying around,
Oh no!
well, Shaliga, or however that's pronounced.
Shillelagh?
Yeah, Shillelagh. And he's
whooping
got his
stick.
full. He is not limited by his previous form. So, range close. You are definitely close.
Mm-hmm.
So, career, body, and skill.
So
Are
what's
you-
happening?
He is hitting you.
Okay. So are we like rolling around, or is this? Do I have him grappled? Do I?
You have him grappled, and he is swinging his staff at you when you're on top of him.
Okay.
Go ahead and take a bonus D8 because of this awkward position.
Okay.
But I don't think that's an issue.
What is
So which dice are we looking at here? Because there was a bunch that got rolled.
So the D12, D10, D10 is his attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh, well, grab
Okay.
the attacker can't use the weapon for anything else.
Well, I can't dodge that. I can try.
You could maybe not take the 6.
So he bashes me, but good.
Well, it's a +2 weapon, but if you retreat, you don't take that 6, or which is that, dodge or?
That's a
Did you-
dodge. Oh, I didn't add the extra D8.
So as he swings the staff around, you manage to roll with it enough that you only take 2 + 2, so soak 4.
Okay. So let's see. That's body. Let's see. I have the gift of resolve, so that's body, will, and armor.
Hopefully this isn't too boring for those people still at the farm.
I soak 1, so I'm hurt, reeling, injured, and afraid.
All right.
I guess then it's my turn.
Yeah, it comes to our turns.
I am going to back off and say, some horrible thing is happening that I have no idea of what's happening on. Tell me, before I run away, what is your name, oh fearsome one?
Know that you have inconvenienced Oder the Exile.
Oh, dare the
Uadaire with, apostrophes in random places.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll meet again someday, I say as I take off.
Oh, dread the day as he backs up and murmurs another spell, and let's see. Yep, that's also something that's master grade. Becomes invisible.
Oh,
No.
shenanigans.
Caesar will fly down at this point then, assuming combat's over in that case.
Well, if you're staying away from the Morrigan and the goblins still rampaging through the marketplace.
I definitely want to help with that, but I do want to check in on Max first. Just kind of go down and just like, are you alright? He kind of threw you off there.
Ow. Curse my defiant nature, Doc.
It's alright. We learned something, though maybe next time don't start shouting before we ask a few more questions.
I don't
but
know. It seemed like a good idea. I was trying to do the right thing.
I have the unenviable task of having to alert everyone and perhaps try putting a stop to this. I will try to stop the goblins if nothing else, so that the targets are limited.
There's no stopping what they just unleashed. I'm sure the city will have to deal with it and have their own ways of dealing with their ancient foes, but where did everybody else go? I heard.
They're still at the farm. You should be able to go down to the river and take the bridge. You might be able to meet up with them.
I'll hobble, clutching my broken ribs as I run away.
All right, as you pass the guardsmen who are rushing past you to get to the combat, fighting upstream against the market crowd, we'll cut back to meanwhile back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, our intrepid heroes are trying to negotiate their way out of a sticky situation.
All right, that's it for me.
So,